Hey, my little angels, come on in. Come in. Don't be shy. There's room for everyone here. Everybody's welcome. Come on in. I'm happy to see everyone. And I see we have some new people. Come on in. Come in. Sit here. Sit beside me. Don't be shy. Be comfortable. And if you like what you see, you can give it a thumbs up. You can share it. Comments are amazing, guys. We love the comments here. We love interacting with each other. I love knowing what you think. I adore your video suggestions. And it just helps us by interacting, because then we connect. And when we connect as people, we make this great big world a little bit smaller. And that's a good thing. And please hit that subscribe button below. I really appreciate it. And don't think I've forgotten you. I see my returners. I have to come up with something besides returners. But anyways, hi guys. I'm so glad you're back. Thank you for always being so supportive and so kind. Your comments make my day. They really do. I love hearing from you. I love finding out that you share my videos. I love when someone says, oh, I heard from so-and-so to come over here. I think those are just great. I also love when I find out that someone I know, someone they know follows me. So I think that's amazing. Hi, Sabrina. So thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. And please keep those comments coming if you're comfortable. Only if you're comfortable, guys. Okay, so we haven't had a mental health check-in in a while. And I thought I would, maybe have a little check-in, and maybe we'll work on some of the tools in our toolbox. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. So let me give you a brief update. I've had some really weird emotions lately. I've been really, really down and really, really up and really, really down. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I thought I needed my antidepressants upped. So when I went to the doctor, I was telling them, and he asked me when I started taking them, and he looked back and he's like, you know what? You have lost a lot of weight since you started taking this prescription. He goes, I think this may be too strong a prescription. I did not agree. And he thinks that's what's making me do this all the time when I should be doing this. So I said, okay, that's fine. So he actually cut it a third, which I'll be honest with you guys, terrifies me, absolutely terrifies me. He's a great doctor, do not get me wrong. I trust him implicitly, and I know that that's the right thing for me. End of story. I don't have to apologize or explain to anyone outside of my husband and my daughter. And even then, they're very supportive too. I don't mean you guys, I mean outside influences that, if you just went for a walk, you'd feel better. Those people. So yeah, I'm doing it because he suggested it, but he also gave me a 4-week mark where I have to check in with him, and then we're going to look at things and see what else we could do, or if there's any more testing to be run, that kind of thing. So, okay, we're going to try that. It did really freak me out though, guys, I'll be honest. It's the exact opposite of what I went in for. Because I don't like to be down. I don't like to be up too high either. I like even. But it does make sense. And he's actually even looking into some of my other meds to see if we can, like the blood pressure pills and the cholesterol pills. So we're going to give that another month. We're going to test my blood again, and then we're going to see about, I may be able to come off those too. That would be good. And my sugar is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So I'm quite happy with that. I did also tell him that was at the same time that I went off the Ozempic and started the Mounjaro. I think that's what it's called. Mounjaro. I think that's what it's called. So that he even said that could have had something to do with it too. But yeah, my first thought was, oh my gosh, I need these. And then I'm like, I need them. And there's nothing wrong with needing them. Do I need them or do I want them? Because they're there's a big difference there. And if your doctor tells you that it's time to start tapering off, I know, it's scary, but we can do this. The important thing to do is communicate with our medical professional. If we start to feel too low, communicate. That's the biggest thing. For me, I was also getting lightheaded too when I get up too fast. And so that's another reason we were looking at the blood pressure pills too. But yeah, it made me start to think about, what do I say to people? Like, it's none of anyone's business really, like outside of who you want to tell. You don't have to tell anyone. But you also don't have to be embarrassed if you're on antidepressants, okay? If you had an allergy reaction, would you take a Benadryl or a Reactin, whatever you take? Of course you would. If you had a bad cough, would you take some cough syrup? Of course you would. If you have a headache, would you take something, whether it's herbal, whether it's naturopath or Tylenol or Advil, whatever? Yes, of course. So why are we embarrassed if we're on antidepressants or if we have to take something to help us sleep, or which was another factor that he thinks that's why I'm not sleeping, is that this is too much for my system. So I'm like, okay, if that can help me, I'll do anything to help me sleep right now. I hope I help you guys sleep. I really do. But it started me thinking, okay, I've learned in 57 years what to say. Because, you new people here, you don't know this about me. My returners know. I have a superpower. I know. I try not to brag. I always know exactly the right thing to say. 3 days later. Never at the time it happens. But I figure if I can give you some of my responses, then maybe that'll help you and put some tools in your tool belt, okay? And you returners, don't you be rolling your eyes. I've heard this before. Refreshers are good. I have to remind myself too sometimes, And it was funny because we were at an event recently, just a get-together really. And it was funny because we were all saying how everybody keeps things quiet until you actually say it. And then other people are like, oh yeah, me too. It was because I was talking to another lady who is just the loveliest person, just lovely. And she had said, it's so weird. It's been like 10 years since we've seen each other. But, we keep in touch through Facebook and stuff. But as soon as we sit down and start chatting, it's like no time has passed at all. And I think that's because we've become part of the fabric of each other's lives. And you guys know that. You have people in your lives like that. And if you don't, you will, who just become the fabric of your lives. They're not just, sometimes we have friends that we need at that time. And then they go off and you go off, and that's okay. It happens, okay? At the time, you may think it's the end of the world, but it's not. Some things are here just for a season, and that's okay. You learn from everyone, you help everyone, and then people move on. And some people don't. Some people become part of your life. And she had lost a great deal of weight as well, so we were both talking. And she goes, how did you do it? And I went, well, I do take Ozempic. She goes, so do I. I take it too. She goes, and then we both went, did we both just start whispering? Why are we whispering? We still did the work. For me, it works as an appetite suppressant. That's how it works for me. For someone else, it may be that the food stays in your stomach longer, and that helps. But, it helps everybody differently. But why are we whispering it? We still did the work. The success is still ours, okay? But I'm like, why are we whispering? And then that's how the Me Too's started coming out about things people think are embarrassing, and somebody said something about, my mom just started this thing called duloxetine. And I said, I take duloxetine. That's the antidepressant I take. And they're like, you just said that so naturally. I said, because I'm not ashamed of it. Everybody has mental health issues. Every single person at some point in their life will have some kind of mental health issue. It's just the way it is. Why we have a stigma surrounding it is beyond me. I really don't understand how this came to be, other than, everyone's supposed to mind their own business and everything. But support is what helps. Now, a lot of people don't know how to support when they hear a mental health issue. And I remember this one time when I'd had my first pregnancy loss, and I had found this sheet of list of the wrong things to say to people who's suffered that kind of a loss. And a good friend of ours at the time called me up, and I could literally tick them off as she kept talking. She said every single thing. She meant well, God bless her, but we don't always know. And that's something we should learn. And that's where this tool belt comes in handy. If you get someone who has your best interest at heart, always take what they say lovingly, okay? And a good way to communicate with them, we've talked about this before, but the new people need to hear this, is do what I call the compliment sandwich. So you have a lovely aunt who comes to you and says, honey, we didn't have all these antidepressants in my day. They did. They just didn't have good ones. We would go for a walk, get some fresh air into your lungs. That's where you're smiling. I appreciate that. That's really good advice. But the drugs have come off a long way since then. Thank God. I don't know how you guys managed back then. But for me, these work for me. Walking doesn't help. This is a mental problem, not a physical. However, anybody that I would ask to go for a walk with would be you. So maybe we can set one up one day. You told them, thank you so much, I know you care. You told them what you need. This is not a walk will solve it, but then you finished with a compliment. You're the one I would pick to do this with. Or perhaps somebody said, have you tried a naturopath? They have this powder. It will take your depression away. Will it? And that's where I go, that's really nice of you to be looking into things for me. I appreciate that. It really touches me. But I'm working with my doctor, and we've tried a whole lot of things, and I'm on what I think works for me right now. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that you care. There's ways of doing it. Another way is, especially guys, with Mother's Day coming up, you may find yourself in groups with family, friends, and you don't want your business being talked about. Whoever you're talking to, get the conversation onto them. How are the kids? How's your pets? How's the job? What's your favorite show? I've been dying to find something new. Any movies? What books are you reading right now? Get the conversation onto them, and the pressure is off you. And most people like to talk about themselves, so that's going to be easy peasy. Another thing is, if you're in a group of people and somebody just won't stop, just say, you know what? I came here to celebrate mom, aunt, uncle, whatever, fill in the blanks. Let's celebrate them. Okay, we can talk about this later. You have my number. And just don't answer. Block. But those are people that have your best interest at heart. Basically, what they really want to do is help you, but they're not going to be able to because they're not medical professionals. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a counselor. I'm just a me. But I'm trying to tell you what works for me, and maybe it'll help you out of a situation. Because when I started this channel, it was for the sole purpose of spreading positivity, kindness, and taking the stigma away from mental health. And if I can save you guys any struggle or pain, even this much, I'm happy. And God knows I have made so many mistakes. So if you can learn from a mistake that I've made, I'm happy, okay? And I've taken all these things to heart. When they've said them to, I've cried. I've been embarrassed in situations. No, not anymore. Now, if you have that person in your life who does not have your best interest at heart and is saying things like, let me think of a good one. I know I've used this one before, but it's always one that sticks out with me. Oh, that didn't come from our side of the family. No one on our side of the family has mental health issues. A good elevator look does wonders. Really? And walk away. And if you can't do the elevator look, given your attitude towards mental health, I'm not surprised people don't talk to you about it. That's a shame. And walk away. And if you get the person that's like, I always knew you would have problems, there's this great response. You look them right in the eyes, guys, because you know your eyes tell your secret. Piss off and walk away. Because you don't have to put up with that shit. Sorry for the language, but you don't. Okay? You are a person in your own right, and you are amazing. And if you're out in public dealing with a mental health issue, good for you. You know what? I'm proud of you. Everybody struggles. Everybody fights their own battles. But it's okay to invite those that can help to help. And it's okay that those that want to help can't. It's okay to let them off the hook and say that. I know you want to help me, but you're not. And sometimes you have to be a little blunt with the ones who care too. I remember saying this to my husband, and it was hard to tell him, but it really helps us. We've really worked on it, because one day I just said, stop. I know you mean well. I know you love me. I need you to listen to me and hear me. I don't need you to fix it. You can't fix it. I just need you to listen. Maybe pat my back. Whatever. I just need you to hear me. Do you know that now we'll be talking about something, or maybe I'll vent about something, or he will. We each will say to each other, am I listening or fixing? And sometimes I'll say, I need you to fix this. What's going on? How are we going to work this? How are we going to schedule this? Or, and he'll do the same for me. My daughter, we're doing it with her now. It really helps. But sometimes you have to say that. My mother was a fixer. I couldn't get it through that I just needed her to listen. So unfortunately, I just didn't open up about things because I knew she would immediately be trying to fix. Now, I did throw a bone once in a while, and I'd give her something that I knew she'd want to fix. But sometimes you just need to listen. And it's okay to tell someone that. And it's okay to say, you know what? I know you're trying to fix it, but I picked you because you're the best listener. I knew I would get supportive, hearing, listening, attentiveness from you, but I don't need it fixed. I'm working on that. Believe me, the person will feel so good about themselves, and you will have opened up your relationship just a little bit more, which is a good thing too. So anyways, guys, it's just a mental health check-in and maybe a tool belt addition or two. I hope it helps. And always remember that I love you, I value you, I honor you, and I'm so very, very glad that you were born.